Okay, so let's take a look at our first example, and hopefully my little marks to erase it worked out okay. All right, so we've got a car. It's starting from rest and it's speeding up. Now to draw our motion diagram, I always start with the dots. So I'm going to put a dot underneath each car, and I did that already, and there they are. Okay. Now I also drew the rest of my diagram, and I only covered up part of it, so it looks a little weird, but that's a dot under each car. You can see how my dots start close together on the left, and they get farther apart on the right because it's getting faster as it goes. Now when I draw my arrows, there they are, okay? They start out short on the left and they get longer on the right, okay? Now when I draw my acceleration arrow, I'm really showing like how much longer is that arrow getting each time. So I'm just gonna add a little tiny arrow over the dot to show how much longer it's getting. So it looks like this, okay? So you can see, I'll kind of laser point it. This little arrow right here is how much longer it is right here, and this little arrow right here is how much longer it is right there. This little arrow right here is how much longer it is right there. This little arrow right here is how much longer it is right there. And this little arrow right here is how much longer it is right there. So it's adding to it, okay? And you can see that my acceleration arrows are pointing in the same direction, and that's what's happening. So when it points in the same direction, it's adding to the velocity. That means it's speeding up, okay? So let's look at the slowing down. We got the same car there, and now it's slowing down. So I'm going to go through the same process. I'm going to start with my dots. There they are. They look kind of funny, and half the car is erased. Oops. Okay. I'm also going to add my arrows. Okay. My arrows are going to go from one dot to the next. They look like that. There's the rest of the car that you couldn't see. Okay. You can see how my dots are getting closer together, just like the cars are getting closer together in the picture. And my arrows are, in fact, getting shorter. Okay. Now this time my arrows are getting shorter, so I have to take away from the length of the arrow. So that means I'm going to point my arrow in the other direction for my acceleration arrows, and I'm still going to write them above the dot, so they're going to look like that. Okay. So just like before, this little dot is making this arrow shorter. This little dot is making this arrow shorter. This little dot is making this arrow shorter. This little dot is making this arrow shorter, and so on. Okay. So it's doing the opposite of what these arrows were doing. These arrows are getting shorter. These arrows are getting longer, shorter. Okay. Adding, subtracting. So when they point in the opposite direction, that means our object is slowing down and we're taking away from the velocity.